Well then, it looks like we're now going back onto the Game Boy Advance series of games again after the events of Super Monkey Ball Jr. after all. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, what is up everyone? I am Sonic the Hedgehog here and welcome back for some more of the Merxy Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next Mario Kart Let's Play. This time around we're going to be jumping onto portable devices this time around. Well, at least technically this is actually the third Mario Kart game that we're going to be doing for the sake of this year, and it's also the fact that this is the third installment of the Mario Kart series. This game is called Mario Kart Super Circuit, released for the Game Boy Advance. Now this game did first came out in 2001, which roughly becomes likely, I would say, a launch title for the Game Boy Advance, alongside with Super Mario Advance, as well as maybe, I don't know what do I explain about other Game Boy Advance games that becomes a launch title for that particular handheld. But either way though, this game in particular, although I'll discuss more about it whenever we get on to the actual main action of this particular playthrough of the game. And now, however though, as you can tell, is the fact that, as you can tell from the actual quality standpoint, I'm going to be playing this on the Wii U Virtual Console version, so you guys can definitely see the actual benefit for the actual quality and everything. Although originally we were going to be able to be playing this on the Game Boy player, but I'm pretty sure enough though that Piglet has already been stressed out during the forms of his Let's Play of Super Monkey Ball Jr. So as a result, yeah, I think I'm might as well able to play this on the Wii U Virtual Console version, so you guys can clearly see on screen. So yes, the main focus of this Let's Play, much like the forms of Super Mario Kart, as well as Mario Kart 64, and as well as any other Mario Kart Let's Plays as well, we're going to be mainly focusing on Mario Grand Prix mode for this point. And right from the start though, we actually get a choice between 50cc, 100cc, and 150cc. Now if you're probably wondering, where's the forms of the extra class, you're probably wondering. Well, unlike Mario Kart 64, that the actual extra class was essentially the unlockable class, this game does not have the extra class whatsoever, meaning that we can't able to play through the mirror versions of some of the tracks themselves, which, you know, it's kind of a shame, but even then though, this is probably because of the limitations of the handheld device. So even then though, now, originally back in the forms of Super Mario Kart Let's Play, as well as Mario Kart 64 Let's Plays, that we did manage to mainly focusing on all of the classes, well, specifically Super Mario Kart most likely, and in Mario Kart 64 we're focusing on 50cc for 2 cups, 100cc for 2 other cups, and 150cc for 2 cups, and extra class for other 2 cups. This time around, for the sake of this Let's Play, I'm going to be mainly focusing on 150cc for the majority of this Let's Play, just like in Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, / Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, but even then we'll pretty much discuss all more about it whenever we proceed for this for the most part. So, as far as the character roster is concerned, it's basically unchanged compared to the forms of Mario Kart 64. You still have Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Toad, Donkey Kong, Wario, and Bowser. But the newest one to the lineup, it was, of course, it's not the actual character or anything, it's the actual random selections of character choices, as you can clearly tell. But even then though, much like in the beginning portion of every single Mario Kart Let's Plays, I'm going to be selecting Toad for the first cup in the game. So, you know, I just really can't help it for myself about the fact that Toad was actually awesome. So anyways, the cup selection choices, we still got ourselves the Mushroom Cup, the Flower Cup, the Star Cup, and the Special Cup. Well, Mushroom, Flower, and Star, and Special Cup, and the newest one introduced in this particular franchise, and that was the forms of the Lightning Cup. If you think that Mario Kart DS managed to able to introduce into the forms of the Lightning Cup to begin with, but no, it was actually in this game, because as far as you guys can clearly tell, this game calls it Mario Kart Super Circuit, meaning, in addition to able to come across into those original tracks specifically for this game, we also managed to able to come across into ourselves into, well, I'll explain more details about this later for the sake of the forms of the majority of the weekends department. So yes, yeah, we'll just go ahead and switch over to the Mushroom Cup here. So even then though, this is the first cup we're going to be run into. And of course the track selections, they are included, which there are Peach Circuit, Shy Guy Beach, Riverside Park, and Bowser Castle 1. So either way though, let's get started with Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance. So... And of course, the first track we're going to be racing onto is Peach Circuit, and for those of you who watched our Let's Play of Mario Kart DS, ever since in 2017 or 16, whatever you want to call it, that track will make its return in Mario Kart DS in the Shell Cup. So even then though, and plus this is the first track in the game, so it makes things a little bit more self-explanatory and easier said than done. So, how it works for the gameplay of Mario Kart Super Circuit? Well... it's like a combination of Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64 at the same time. The reason why I say that is because most of the tracks in this game plays out pretty much exactly similar to Super Mario Kart, where there was like, the entire tracks are all flat, rather than just having ourselves some tons of slants, tons of, you know, ramps and everything like that. But either way, those want to classify that. And it's kind of like the same thing for Mario Kart 64 as well, meaning about the fact that, as you can tell, most of these sprites in this game is actually heavily borrowed. Well, not so much by the forms of the tracks themselves, but to be more specifically, the character sprites, which is usually heavily borrowed from the likes of Mario Kart 64. So as a result of that kinds of stuff though, it might actually work for the works for the benefit for the handheld device or something like that, but you know, you get the idea for that solution. So yeah, that's the first track of Mario Kart Super Circuit, and now let's move on to Shy Guy Beach, which, if I recall correctly, this track will make its return during the forms of in Mario Kart Wii in the Banana Cup. So even then, I just want to classify that. For those of you who want to know what the origins about some of those tracks to begin with, so... you know, you get the idea and you get the picture of it too. So either way though, you know, obviously today's date is the forms of the 27th of June in 2020 at this point today for the sake of this recording. Recently in the UK version of Super Smash Bros. Brawl has now turning becoming the forms of 12 years old, specifically in the UK version now. So either way though, it's a good time to able to celebrate it with that, but I haven't exactly played Brawl for quite a while, because at the moment right now, I'm usually really into the forms of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate recently, you know, so either way, let's not get ahead of ourselves at this point just yet though, and yeah, I do apologize with the limitations of those flickering moments. As you can tell when I'm using my Boo item, just because it's only emulation for, you know, the Virtual Console version of the game, so as a result, on the Wii U specifically. So either way, most of the items does make a return ever since during the forms of in, let's just say, in Mario Kart 64, like we still got ourselves the Boo item as you saw, and especially notable with that devastating blue spiny shell, and even, green and red shells, and especially notable with the banana peels, mushrooms, and you name it. The only items that does not make a return at all, which there are fake item boxes, and especially notable with the golden mushroom, because the reason why the golden mushroom has been taken out for the sake of this game, I think most people seem to think that the golden mushroom was actually overpowered during the forms of this game itself. So either way, yeah, let's move on to the next track in this game, especially noticeable in Mushroom Cup in general, which appears to be Riverside Park, which even then though, is kind of cool looking, especially noticeable how the fact that what makes this game super unique compared to the forms of the other two games is that this game has been developed by Intelligent Systems, which, you know, the ones that he actually did, they made some cool micro games, you know, micro games collection of games for WarioWare games, and especially notable with the coolest RPG series of all time, which there are Fire Emblem series, and especially not to mention the forms of the Paper Mario games as well. So even then though, well, relatively speaking, this game did came out after Paper Mario did first came out in 2000, but then it wasn't until a year later that, well, Mario Kart Super Circuit did manage to came out from, I would say, everywhere else, I'm presuming so, but either way though, that's just want to classify for checking on certain dates or anything like that. So either way though, that's all I can really think about it. And plus, whenever we get onto the future courses of this game, we might able to come across into ourselves some very cool touches to the forms of certain of those tracks. Specifically, whenever we get to the very end of the actual main Grand Prix themselves, because again, I'm actually going to be mainly focusing on, you know, 150cc for the majority of the forms of the entire Let's Play such as this. So, Anywho though, get out of here, Peach. I have no idea why Peach is having a personal vendetta against me, but either way though, that's all I can really say about it here. Of course, the actual, the point system does make a return, well, usually relatively speaking, behaves exactly like how it did in new forms of events and Super Mario Kart, as well as, you know, Mario Kart 64. Like, if you're still claiming, first place, you get 9 points. If you claim second place, you get 6 points. I believe third place, you get, 3 points. But if you come in fourth place, then obviously you only get just 1. So either way, though, you know, it plays exactly like how it did in new forms of, both Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64 all in one. Although a noticeable differences this time around though is the fact that, well, ever since during new forms of Super Mario Kart you do have the life system. This game also still has the extra life system, however though, we'll talk more about it whenever we get onto the later cups in the game, because as you can see, we're now able to drive onto the final track in Mushroom Cup in this game in particular, and that is Bowser Castle 1. And that track will make its return in Mario Kart 7 in the Shell Cup, so even then though, pretty interesting I should say so. In fact, much like in Super Mario Kart, I consider to be the Bowser Castle levels to be one of the more trickiest of the bunch. Just because there's going to be a lot of emphasis on, you know, as I said before, that this game is more likely a combination of both Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64. What I mean by that is the fact that we can't able to actually just go above the, or try to jump over the actual walls, so we have to go for the exact same route as in new forms of Super Mario Kart system when it comes to the forms of the actual tracks designed such as this. So, but I digress. So the Mushroom Cup is fully completed, and it doesn't take that long though, probably because of this is all the handheld's limitations and stuff like that. So yeah, you get the idea for that specific solution to this point, guys. And we got ourselves a star rank, which I'll discuss more about it until tomorrow, just because of how the fact that I just like to discuss upon more things throughout. So anyways, I think we should probably end things off at this point right there. So join me next time on Let's Play Mario Kart Super Circuit. It's the fact that we're going to be getting things started with the extra tracks, especially noticeable for the extra Grand Prix. Mainly, the extra Mushroom Cup in 150cc. So even then though, should be a little bit more interesting to say the least. But even then though, I'll see you guys until tomorrow. Later, fellas.